Top 10 rental car tips to save you time and money. These are tips that I have learned over time and would have saved me time and money if I knew them earlier. Number 1, check online pricing. Check online sites for the cheapest rates between each rental car company. You can check Alamo, Avis, Enterprise, and see which one is cheaper with the rental car price. You can use websites like AutoSlash, Costco Travel, and Expedia to see which one is cheaper. Also, you can check if it is cheaper to pick up at a different location. Most of the time, it is going to be more expensive to rent a car from the airport location. Here at Budget, it might seem like a $4 difference at first, but if you look at the total price for the week, it is a $124 difference. And even at Enterprise, the total weekly charge is $510 at the airport, while a few miles away, the total comes out to $379, which is a $131 difference. Also, you want to check if you have a credit card that covers rental car insurance. You can take cards like Chase Sapphire Preferred, Chase Sapphire Reserve, Capital One X Venture Card, American Express. Having one of these cards will save you from the cost of damage waivers and other coverages that could cost you hundreds of dollars. The second step, you gotta arrive early. I highly recommend arriving at least an hour early, especially if your rental car pickup time is around the afternoon. And the reason why is because a lot of these cheaper rental car services are gonna be short-staffed, and a lot of people are gonna be taking their lunch break around the afternoon. So then, I've had past experience where I've had to wait over an hour and a half. Now the third step is that you need to refuse the upgrade upcharge. They're going to charge you, or they're going to ask you if you want to pay extra for an upgrade. And you're going to say no and say, what other vehicles can I get in the same price bracket? You don't want to pay a dime extra than the price you had reserved online. I did this and got upgraded from a Chevy Equinox to the full-size SUV, the Chevy Traverse. And I also went from a Chevy Bolt to a Tesla Model 3. Most of the upgraded vehicles are normally going to be an extra $20 to $30 more per day. And now the fourth step, check for hidden fees and insurance. When they are ringing up your total, make sure that it is the same price you were given online. Make sure that there's no hidden charges that they try to sneak up on you, and make sure it's the same exact total. And also remember, if you have one of these cards, you can refuse the damage waiver and other protection coverages they're going to try to put on your account. These cards have a rule that you must refuse the coverage at the counter to make sure to validate the coverage from their end. And also, Teslas are not covered through these credit cards. I did the check, and apparently they don't cover rental car insurance for Teslas. Now, if you don't have any of those cards, check how much your personal auto insurance covers. If you're visiting a city where a lot of windows are smashed or high car theft happens, get the coverage for the peace of mind. Number 5, take videos and wipe down surfaces. Take videos of the full exterior and make sure that you see no damage. And if you do see some damage, make sure you report it to the person checking off the vehicle. You want to wipe down each touch area because most of the time, none of this is actually clean. They just take out the trash, and I have personally found tons of spills and sticky touch areas. I've went to the back of the trunk and found tons of sticky areas, and it's a pain. That's the last thing you want to worry about when you are mid-trip. Number 6, pre-check and test drive. It is very important to drive the vehicle around the lot before you leave. I've had a car that had worn out brakes, horrible wipers, and got a flat tire within a few miles. I had to call the rental car company, and they said that I had to get the car towed and take an Uber back to the airport. So I had to get the car towed, get in the Uber, and it took an extra hour because of rush hour traffic. And by the time I get to the place, I had to wait even more because they didn't have anyone at the front desk. So I had to wait just to get my car, the next one, and double check that this time I'm not going to have the same issues. And here's the things you can check. You're going to check the tire tread and condition to make sure that they're good, and the brake feel to make sure that the brakes do stop at a well distance. Headlights are working, taillights are working, registration. Signals and wipers are functioning. Make sure that you're comfortable with the tech. So if you don't know some of the functions, definitely ask the workers there before you leave the lot. Make sure the AC and heat are working. Adjust your mirrors and seat, and make sure that there's a spare tire or fix-a-flat kit. Number 7, drop off luggage before exploring. I recommend dropping off personal belongings, luggage at the hotel or place of residence. You don't want to bring it to the touristy spots. You don't want to go somewhere where a lot of people are looking for that kind of things, where they see out-of-state plates or a rental car and see a bunch of luggage in the back. You don't want to have to deal with certain situations where things are taken out of your vehicle. Number 8, map out charging or gas stations. You can use websites like Gas Buddy to find out the cheapest gas prices and the cheapest gas stations in your area, and you can also use Charge Hub to find charging stations in your area. And you want to make sure you create a general list of gas or charging stations in the area that you're traveling, because sometimes you might be in an area where there's nothing for 20-30 miles. Having a general knowledge of this could save you a lot of money, especially if you have a Costco or Sam's Club membership, or you know where the location is, so you can get cheaper gas, especially in California. I didn't map out superchargers when I rented out a Tesla, and the day of drop-off, I had to drive 20 miles to get to a supercharger station, and I was an hour before I had to give the vehicle back, so it was definitely a time crunch. Number 9, take video and check for belongings. Take videos of the car when dropping it off, and make sure that you take videos of the charge or the fuel level. I've been charged $100+ of BS fees for fuel when I gave it at the right amount, so you definitely want to make sure that you took photos of it so you can contest it later if they try to charge you. Number 10, check final bill for hidden charges. This is what I was talking about at the end of number 9. Check your email inbox for confirmation of drop off and the final total bill. You want to match this to the reservation amount and make sure that you see any differences in the fees. I've had times where they have charged me $80 for an extra hour, even though I was given the rental car an hour late, but they were still docking me for it, even though I confirmed with the employee that if I'm picking it up an hour late, can I drop it off an hour late? And they said yes. So I still had to contest this later on with the billing team. I was once charged fees with no explanation. When I called the billing team, the charges were removed. No questions, no explanations. They just took it off. So definitely make sure that when you are done with your trip that you don't forget about this, because most of the time people don't look at their bill because they're done with their vacation, they just want to relax or get back to work, and they never go back and double check how much they were actually charged. And when you're on vacation, there's so many expenses that you sometimes don't look at the minor details.